Yes, hello children, how are you? Again we are here to see a new module. In our last module, we have started new unit, laws of motion. And in that laws of motion, we have seen Galileo experiment, law of inertia. I hope all of you have must learn that. So dear children, be happy and come. Today we are going to see Newton's laws of motion. First, I am going to see the statement of all the three laws of motion, and then I will explain one by one. Here, dear children, write down first. That is Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws of motion. Dear children, these laws of motion we have seen in also 9th class. There are three laws of motion. Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, and Newton's third law of motion. Here first see that what is the first law of motion. Newton gave three laws governing the motion of the bodies. These laws governing the motion of the bodies. The first law is, according to this law, a body continues to be in a state of rest or state of motion. A body continues to be in the state of rest, to be in the state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line, then along a straight line, unless it is acted upon by some external force, to change the state. What does I mean to say? I mean to say the body is at rest. Suppose this is the body. It will be state of rest जब तक कि हम इसके ऊपर कोई फोर्स नहीं लगाएं. But the another thing is, when the body is in motion, that will remain in motion, but it does not feel good. We cannot imagine if a ball is rolling for some time, it will stop due to the air resistance. If I say the air resistance is zero in an ideal condition, then that will be continues to be in motion. Then what is the second law? Right now I am going to statement only. Explanation will be later on. According to this law, the rate of change of linear momentum, a new quantity. Do you heard the name of linear momentum earlier? Yes, sir. What is that? The linear momentum is, sir, mass into velocity. We know. Yes, sir. So rate of change of linear momentum of a body is directly proportional to the external force applied on the body. external force applied it on the body. We know very well, applied it on the body. What is force? Mass into acceleration. External force applied it on the body. And this change takes place always in the direction of force applied it. In the direction of force applied it. Now, what is the third law? According to the Newton, the third law of motion is to every action, there is always equal and opposite reaction. Equal and opposite reaction. Equal and opposite reaction. It means the forces of action and reaction are always equal and opposite. That means the forces of action and reaction are always equal and opposite. Are always equal and opposite. Write down. So these are the three laws. We are going to explain each and everything very clearly. Now, according to the first law here, if no net force acts on a body, then the velocity of the body cannot change. This is the first law. So I can say this first law can be restated like this. If no net force acts on a body, अगर किसी भी बॉडी के ऊपर कोई फोर्स नहीं लग रहा है, if no net force acts on a body, then the velocity of the body cannot change. What does it mean? The body cannot accelerate. It is clear? Now, according to the second law, the net force on a body is equal to the net force. Again, the second law can be restated like this. The net force on a body is equal to the mass of product of the mass of the body, and acceleration of the body. Mass of the body and acceleration of the body. This is the second law again. And the third law can be restated like this. Here. When two bodies interact, when the two bodies interact, the forces on the bodies from each other, the the forces from the forces when the two bodies in contact, the forces on the body, forces on the bodies from each other are always equal in magnitude, and direction. These are the first, second and third law. Now, we are going to today in this module, we are going to explanation of first Newton's law. Right? Come and ready and learn and then write. Newton's first law of motion. Explanation of Newton's first law of motion. You know very well, when the body is at rest, will remain at rest. जैसे मैं ये बॉडी है यहाँ पर पड़ी रहेगी आज कल परसों कभी भी, unless you are not applying an external force. So what I mean to say here, without the application of an external force, I can say a body at rest continues to be at rest. This part is self-evident. We also find that day-to-day activities like that every object continues to lie where it is. Every object continues to lie. वहीं पड़ा रहेगा. Continues to lie where it is. Unless we move it. We know very well. Similarly, without the application of external force, if a body is in uniform motion, continues to be in a motion, body is in uniform motion, continues to move uniformly. This part is slightly difficult to realize because we know very well, we find that a ball rolling on the ground that stops after some time. It will stop, say like here. Similarly, when the engine of a moving car is switched off, then car will stop after some distance. After travel some distance, it will stop. In fact, the motion of the bodies is being opposed by invisible forces. Like that of which invisible forces are stop the moving body? That is air resistance. Force of friction, air resistance between the body and the ground, that will stop. If these forces were removed, a body moving uniformly shall never stops on its own. But it is not possible. Everywhere the frictional forces are there. Is it clear? If these are not there, then the body can move uniformly. So what is that? First law again I am repeating, and write down with the help of these two examples we have seen right now. What is that? if the net external force, if the net external force, if the net external force on a body is zero, the net external force on a body is zero, its acceleration is zero. Its acceleration is zero. It is clear? Its acceleration is zero. So acceleration can be non-zero. Acceleration can be non-zero. Kab? Acceleration can be non-zero when? Tell me. If there is net external force on the body, if there is net external force on the body, okay? Yes, sir. So Newton's first law defines force. Newton's first law define force. Newton's first law defines force because we know that we define force is an external effort. Force is an external effort. We know very well. In the form of push, in the form of push or pull, in the form of push or pull, which moves or tries to move a body, or tries to move a body, or tries to move a body at rest. At rest, or it can stop, or tries to stop, or tries to stop, or tries to stop a body in motion. A body in motion. A body in motion. To change or tries to change the direction of the motion, or change, or tries to change, or tries to change, or tries to change the direction of the motion of the body, tries to change the direction of motion of a body. So I can say that Newton's first law defines force because a body continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line, unless it is acted upon by an external force. So I mean to say that force applied on a body alone can change its state of rest or state of motion. So I can say that Newton's first law, that is an external effect in the form of push or pull. So it defines force. Newton's first law of motion, also called law of inertia, it also defines inertia. Newton's first law of motion, Newton's first law of motion also defines, Newton's first law also defines inertia. We have already seen what is inertia. According to this law of motion, a body continues to be in a state of rest, will remain at rest. If the body continues to be in motion, will be in motion. Okay, so we know this. Unless it is acted upon by an external force. So I mean to say that a body on its own can't move. It can't be stopped. We have seen a lot of examples right now. So inability of a body. So inability of a body to change by itself, it's a state of rest. Or state of uniform motion. Along a straight line. Inability of a body to change by itself a state of rest or a state of motion along a straight line is called inertia of the body. So Newton's first law defines inertia, and rightly also it is called law of inertia. Inertia can be related to a mass. Quantitatively I can say inertia of a body is measured by the mass of the body. Inertia of a body can be measured by mass of the body. Heavier the body, greater is the force applied it to change its state of motion or state of rest. So it is, we can say, heavier the body, greater is the force required to change its state. So greater is the inertia. भारी बॉडी है तो इनर्शिया ज्यादा होगा, हल्की बॉडी है तो इनर्शिया कम होगा. Is it clear? So inertia are of three types. We are giving in small examples of all three types of inertia. First one is inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. How it is? First, बॉडी रेस्ट पर है तो रेस्ट पर ही रहेगी unless you are not applying a certain force. So my dear children, it is the inability of a body to change by itself its state of rest. This means a body at rest will remain at rest and can't start moving on its own. You can take a lot of example in our daily life. Dear children, suppose you are standing in a stationary bus and the driver starts the bus suddenly. We get thrown backwards. Why? Our feet, this is our feet, on it touch with the floor of the bus. There is some friction between the feet and the floor. If the start of the bus is not that sudden, the frictional force would be enough to accelerate our feet along with the bus. But our body is not strictly a rigid body. It is deformable body. So what happened? It allowing some relative displacement between the different parts. So our feet go with the bus. When the bus starts, suddenly our feet go with the bus. but our upper part of the body it is still at rest. Our upper part of the body here, our feet go with the bus, the rest of the body remain where it is due to inertia. So we are thrown backward. Is that clear? Similarly, you can take another example. When a horse starts suddenly, the rider tends to fall backwards. The rider tends to fall backwards. Why? On account of inertia of rest of upper part of the body, as explained right now. Another thing is inertia of motion. Second one is here. What is that? It is the inability of a body. It is the inability of the body. It is the inability of the body to change by itself its state of uniform motion. Uniform motion means a body in uniform motion can neither accelerate nor retardation. Neither accelerate nor retardation its own. Again, suppose we are standing in a moving bus. You are standing in a bus and the driver stops suddenly. We are thrown forward with a jerk. As soon as the driver stops the bus, our feet comes to rest immediately with the bus. But our upper part of the body is still in motion due to the inertia of motion. So we have a jerk, go forward like this. Okay, one more example. A person jumping out of a speeding train. A person jumping out of a speeding train may fall forward because his feet comes to rest on touching the ground and the remaining part of the body continues to move due to the inertia of motion. So, lot of examples you may give and you may write. Then the third one is inertia of direction. It is the inability of the body. It is the inability of a body. It is the inability of a body to change by itself. To change by itself. To change by itself to direction of motion. To direction of motion. Again you may take and many examples. Inertia of direction. When a car rounds to a curve, when a car rounds a curve suddenly, car rounds a curve suddenly, the person sitting inside is thrown outward. A person sitting inside thrown outward. Thrown outward. Because the person tries to maintain his direction of motion due to the inertia of direction. Due to the inertia of direction. So directional inertia is there while the car turns. So these are the examples of inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. So today children, we saw all the statement of Newton's laws of motion. Then I explain Newton's first law defines force. It defines inertia. And then we saw the different type of inertia is there with the help of examples. I hope all of you have understood it clearly. Okay. In our next module, we will see Newton's second law of motion, third law of motion, and some more modules. Is it clear? Bye.